I'm going to show something really awesome that you can do with Python. You are going to learn like how to process a spreadsheet, and that is extremely valuable in situation like where you have hundreds or thousands of spreadsheets that need to be updated. Let's get into the program, and I have a spreadsheet over here. Suppose if you want to do this by hand, like if you want to update means it may take some hours or days or weeks or even a month. We can simply build a Python program in less than half an hour and have the Python program automatically process the thousands of spreadsheets in under 1 second. So here we are going to work on this Excel spreadsheet. In this spreadsheet, like we have 3 columns like transaction ID, product ID, and price. In this spreadsheet, what we are doing, like we are recording like all kind of transaction. But let's say due to an error, it could be a human error or system error. The price we have here is it's a wrong one. Let's say we need to decrease this by 10%. If you want to do it manually means what you have to do is like we'll come back over here and add a formula. So here in the D column, right, what you'll do is like you'll be having the formula like equal to, and then I want to recalculate it, which cell means the particular cell C2, and I want to multiply by 0.9, which is like 90% of the original price. Like what I will do is like I will be multiplying by 0.9, and if I click it enter means it will have that updated value, right? And what we will be doing is like we'll be updating using the same formula for other rows also, and it is getting updated values. Now what if you have more than 1000 or more than that rows? You will have to scroll up and down. That is going to be very tedious process, right? So we are going to write a Python program that will do this for us. It is going to automate this process, and not only that, it will also add the beautiful charts like bar chart, line chart over there. Once again, if you want to open up like hundreds or thousands of spreadsheets and add a chart to each one, this is going to take at least a week or two. Our Python program is going to do all this in a matter of seconds. So let's get started. In my last video, like I explained about how to install the packages from the Python package index like pypy.org, and this is a package which you are going to use, which will work with the Excel sheet. And I explained about like openpyxl, and this is a version 3.0.10, and to install it we need to copy this instruction, or you need to write this command like pip install openpyxl, and back to our PyCharm, the terminal section you can call this one like pip install openpyxl, and this code will be added over here in our project panel inside this external libraries, inside site packages. Here it will get added this openpyxl. Under this package there are many sub packages. Under each sub packages it will have modules. So this is the package, it's already installed. Now let's get into the code for writing it over here. I already created a file, and moreover that what I did is like I added the transaction.xls, that a spreadsheet file, in my folder itself. So now what I'm going to do is like I'm just going to import the package. I'm going to import the package, import that openpyxl, and what I'm going to do is like I'm going to create an alias for that like Excel, because I want the code to be in shorter format and to be in cleaner code. Instead of writing this openpyxl dot to access the method, we can just use the alias name like Excel, right? So we can make use of Excel itself. Now what I want to do is like I want to load the workbook. For that there is a method in that package called load workbook. In the load workbook we can pass the file name. The file name will be like in the string, I'll be passing the file name as transaction.xls, the sheet, and then what I'm going to do is like after it, what it will do is like it will return the object called workbook, right? So it will return the object called workbook, and then now this object will get loaded over here. This spreadsheet object will be get loaded over here, and I want to access this sheet, particular sheet 1. For that what I have to going to do is like with the help of this object I'm going to load the sheet. Like what I'm going to do is like I'm going to use a sheet 1, that's it. And again I'm getting this object of sheet over here. Let's see what's happening over here using the print statement, print of sheet, that's it. I'm going to run this program, automation, let's see, and it's throw error because the sheet is not there. Okay, the sheet will have the name of SS capital, right? So it is a case sensitive. I want to give this sheet as S caps. Make sure it is case sensitive, and it is executing and it is throwing the sheets and all. So you don't need to worry about it. And from the sheet, what you have to do is like you need to access a particular cell, because now the sheet has been loaded. I want to access a particular cell. For example, I need to get the values of this particular column, this price column, right? So for that, what you can do is like with the help of the sheet, you can able to access. For that, what you can do, there are two ways. One is like you can use the square brackets, and you can use the coordinates. Coordinates in the sense like if you are going to the Excel sheet means you can able to see the coordinates. The coordinates is a combination of rows and column. For example, this A2 is the coordinates, and B2 is the coordinates, and B3 is the coordinates, like that. For example, you can give A2, and that should be in the string A2, and you can get that in cell. That's it. And A2 is a coordinate, right? A2 means this is a A2 or this is an A2, right? So now if I print that object means it should return the value of 1001. Let's see cell. Now what I'm going to do is like I'm just going to print the value of that cell dot value. Let's see it is printing the value of 1001. So you can make use of coordinates. And other method is like you can just pass the row and column values. That one is sheet of rows and column values using the parentheses. For example, I want to use this second row and the third column, right? So 2, 3, I can pass it like 2, 3. Let's print this value. What is going over here? Print of cell dot value. Now if I go into this means, and what is showing like worksheet object is not callable. Okay, sorry, I want to make use of the cell method here, like dot cell of rows and column, like second row, third column. That's it. And see here 5.95 is getting printed over here. So I can able to get the values from the sheet. Now what I'm going to do is like I want to iterate like all the objects from the Excel sheet. For that, what I can do is like I can make use of for loop. But before that, I want to know like how many rows are there. For that, what you can do is like there is a method called method or attribute, I think, called maximum underscore row, like how many rows we have, right? So for that, sheet dot max row, and I will just print this value, print of max row. Let's see, and how many rows we have? Like we have 4 rows. Like count is 4 rows, right? So let's see whether it is getting or not. Yeah, it's getting printed. I'm just commenting this print all the print statement to get a clearer view, and that's it. Now what I want to do is like I want to iterate all the objects from the sheet or all the cells from the sheet. For that, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to use for loop. For I am going to iterate each row. So I'm making the variable name as row. In I want to make like each values. For that, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to use the range function. You all know about range function, right? It will generate a range of numbers, right? For each iteration, it will spit out some numbers. For example, if I give a range as 5 means, what it will do is like it will give the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose if I give the arguments like start and end value like 5 to 10 means, it will give the value of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See here, it will include the start value, but it will exclude the end value. Similar thing, I want to iterate all the values. For that, I will be giving the start and end value. The start value will be 1 because I want to include all the rows and columns from there. And then the maximum number of rows. Already I have this maximum number of rows with this attribute, right, from the sheet. I'm just copying this, adding it over here. That's it. And now what I'm going to do is like I'm just printing the row, like how many rows it will come. Let's see. Printing the rows. Again executing this. See here it is returning as 1, 2, 3 only. But we have 4 columns, 4 rows, right? For that, what you can do is like I can make use of plus 1 over here and running this, and I'm getting this 1, 2, 3, 4 now. But if you see it over here, I don't want to include this first column or first row, right? Because it is a naming row, right? For that, what I can do is like I can remove this 1 and put it as 2. So it will start to iterate from 2, 3, 4, the 3 rows only. Let's see. See here it is processing 2, 3, 4 only. Now what I am going to do is like I'm going to get the values. For that, I'm going to use sheet dot cell. So what is a cell, right? I'm going to use the row. the row is the row for the each iteration. For example, for the first iteration, it will get the 2, and what I'm going to do is like I want to manipulate this value, right? So this is the third column, right? 1, 2, and third column. This C column is the third column. I'm just going to get C. That's it, and I'm going to store it in a cell column, cell variable. That's it, cell variable. And if you want to know what is that value is getting printed over here, let's see, print cell dot value. That's it. And now if I execute this function, let's see here it is getting all the values from this column, 595, 695, 795, 7.95, everything over here. I'm just commenting this again, the piece of code. And what I'm going to do is like I need to multiply that value with 0.9. For that, what I'm going to do is like I'm just having another variable corrected underscore value equal to cell dot value into 0.9. That's it. And I need to add that value in the another column. I don't want to update the same column. Suppose I want to add it in the D row, right? So this is the fourth column. For that, what I'm going to do is like I'm just calling this one again, copying it and adding it over here, the fourth column, right? I'm making it as 4 and adding it. I'm going to get this value in the variable called corrected cell, corrected underscore cell. That's it. And in that corrected cell, right, corrected cell dot value, I'm going to store that what is the updated value, like corrected value. That's it, corrected value. Now what I did is like I iterated all the rows and columns from the sheet, so it started from 2 because I don't want to include the first rows over here, that is a naming row. So I started with the 2, and in the range it will exclude the last two values. That's what I incremented by 1. And from the sheet you can take the value of each cell through 2 methods, through the coordinates or through the row and cell column, row and column value, right? So by that way I got the value and I multiplied by 0.9, and this is just for testing purpose, 0.9, and I want to add that value in the new column. So I added a new column with row 4. In that column I just added the value. That's it. And what I'm going to do is like I'm going to save that save this workbook. For that I'm just going calling the save method, the file name. Suppose what I'm going to do is like I don't want to accidentally overwrite this original file, because in case if a program has bug means it will overwrite the entire file, it will overwrite the original file. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to save it in another file name called transaction -1, transactions -1.xls. that's it. And we don't have this file name called transaction1 over here. Let's see, where is that file name? And I'm not able to see in the left hand side. Transactions type conversion we have. Okay, see, let's see, I'm just going to run this program. See here the transaction1 is got updated over here, and I just open the code, open this Excel sheet. Let's see here it just updated automatically with the fourth column with the updated values. Now what I have to do is like I want to add a chart. To add the chart, what you have to do is like we need to add a couple of classes on top of our code. So that what I'm going to do is like I'm just going to add the pieces of code again from that package, like openpyxl. From that package I'm going to use the model called chart, right? Chart, and I'm just going to import some of the classes. The classes are bar chart and then references. So see the naming convention over here. The bar chart is in camel case and reference. So these are the classes I'm going to use. Now what we are going to do is like we are going to add the chart to the current sheet. This is the sheet. For that, for which values I'm going to add the bar chart is like for this value alone, right? For this range of values we are going to add the chart. In this exercise I'm going to select these values in this column only. From this column only I'm going to create a chart, like from the 2 to 4, from the fourth column, rows from 2 to 4. That's it. And for this example and all, right, we don't want a kind of transaction and all, because I'm just going to create a chart with a bunch of numbers. That's it. For that what I'm going to do is like just close this chart and don't saving it, and I'm also closing this chart. Now what I'm going to do is like I'm just going to create a reference for this sheet using the reference class, right? What I'm going to do is like I'm just calling this references, and what this reference will do is like it will take this four things as a parameters. First one is worksheet, so I'm just passing the worksheet sheet, and then other are kind of a keyword arguments like minimum column, minimum row, maximum column, maximum row. So what I'm going to do is like I'm just going to use maximum row. Maximum row, or first I'll take minimum row. Minimum row is like, as I said, I want to get the values from 2 to 4, right? So 2 to 4, and maximum row, right? For the maximum row, I have already have this object or already have this attribute. I'm just copying it, adding it over here, maximum row, because I don't know that, and I don't want to hard code the rows. So whatever the maximum rows it have in that column, it will take. And then minimum column. So minimum column equal to 4, because I want to get the chart for the bunch of numbers from the 4th column only. And then maximum underscore column equal to 4. That's it. Now what you have to do is like I'm going to call the chart bar chart class, like bar chart. That's it, bar chart class, and it will return the object called chart and store it in a variable called chart. And in that chart, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to add the data, like make use of add data. I'm just okay. Before that, what I did is like this reference will return an object, and I have to store it in a variable called values. That's it. And I'll just pass that values into the datas, and then in my sheet I'll be adding this chart by using of add chart method, and just passing the chart object. That's it. Now let's see, and after that I just use the save method. Now I try to run this program. See here, everything is success. I'm just opening this transaction file, transaction 1, and it doesn't have any chart. Okay, let's see what's happened over here. Doesn't save it. Yeah, I forgot to add, because we wanted to add the chart, but we forgot to mention like which location I need to add the chart. For example, I'm opening this chart, opening this Excel sheet again. I want to add this chart. For example, I'm doing this one. So suppose I want to add this chart bin, the coordination is E2, right? This is the column E2 or E3, like this. I'm just for testing purpose, I'm adding the chart right over here itself, like E2. So I'm just closing this, and I am passing the coordinates where I need to add the chart in the add chart, like E2. That's it. Now I try to run this code again. It's done. I'm just opening this one. See here, the chart has been added over here for the values from this 5.6.7.1. It has been added the chart over here. We can use different chart or different color to the chart. To know more about this, you can go and read the documentation of openpyxl package in the pypy.org website. That's done. So our program is complete, but if I look into our code, means it's look dirty, right? It's not clean and it's not organized. We don't have functions over here, and we have written all the code in a single file. I want to make this code as more cleaner. What I have to do is like, let's go ahead and organize this code like a professional software developer. What we can do is like, we just define a function, and inside the function we can put all over here. For that, what I can do is like, I don't want this cell objects and all. I'm just removing everything, or let it be, because I don't want any print statement in my print statement and commented lines. Just removing that one, and everything what I'm doing to do is like, I'm just adding to the function definition of update Excel sheet, update underscore Excel sheet. That's it. And everything what I'm going to do is like, I'm going to indent all this line, all these lines over here. That's it. And if everything is a function, now everything will come as a function. Now if you are going to use this function for the automating the process, means what it will do is like, it will automate only a particular file alone, because we are hard coded this value. It won't update the process of thousands of spreadsheet, because it's relying only on one file, like transaction 1.xl file. But I want to automate for like many files. For that, what I will do is like, we need to organize this code. For example, for that, what I will do is like, the function should take the name of the file as an input. I make as file name. That's it. And the file name should be passed in the over here. That's it. And what I'm going to do is like, I will be saving the same file, because now I know that my program is bug free and it is working right. So saving in the same file, and that's it. I'm just removing these empty spaces, and now my function will work. And I want to say, like earlier in my Python course, right, we learned like to find all the files in directory. We can get each file in directory, right? I have this file here itself, directory.file, using that globe object, right? Using that globe method, you can able to get all the files in directory. Suppose if I run this one means directory, it will list all the files, right? Now what I'm going to do is, like, I'm just going make use of Excel sheet, xlsx, and if I run this file means it will return all the files. I'm just removing this transaction dot excuse me, I'm deleting this new file. Now if I execute this file means it will return the only one file, transaction.xls, right? Now if we use that function like this update Excel sheet function means we can make use of this with the help of modules, right? For example, I'm just importing the module import automation, right? That's it. And now what you can do is, like, with the help of this object automation dot, we have this method update Excel sheet. That's it. You can pause the file name. Now what will happen is, like, even though any number of files you will be having inside this your directory means it will update within a second. So this was just one of the example of using Python to automate the repetitive boring task that waste our time. But automation is not just about processing the Excel spreadsheet. There are so many things that we can automate. In my next video, what I'll do is, like, we'll work on a project which involves a machine learning, which is a subset of artificial intelligence. Thank you guys for watching my video. If you have any doubts in implementing this program or implementing this automation process, just add in the comment section. I'll be very happy to help you guys. Thank you all. Have a good day.